thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to take a look at a whiskey from one of our favorite distilleries, Springbank, the 21-year-old 2020 version. Dustin, your bottle, you just picked this up, comes in at a whopping 46% ABV. It's as dark as coffee. What can you tell me?
All right. So this year's Springbank, and I don't have the bottle count off the top of my head, but you're looking in the 3,000 range once again here. This one comes in at 30% bourbon casks, 30% rum casks, 25% sherry casks, and 15% port casks. And I have absolutely no idea how this is the darkest Springbank 21 I've ever seen.
It is dark.
Yeah, so Mike, we brought them the 2018, which was bourbon and rum. We brought them the 2019, which was 45% port. And I'm not positive, but I believe it was a rum cask for the other 55%. That one should have been dark as night. My only guess here, Mike, for this color is these were the wettest of the wet sherry casks and the wettest of the wet port casks Springbank had. They were first fill, still dripping with port and sherry. How else could they have done that where 60% is bourbon and rum?
Buddy, I'll tell you what, you sent me a picture of like 5 Springbank 21s from 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, all lined up, actually 6 of them. And I looked at that, I was like, it doesn't look like the same whiskey.
Yeah.
This is absolutely espresso. And not just any espresso. I have a fantastic local roaster here, Staff's Coffee. Man, they do this Ethiopian Vienna. I get the whole bean, I grind it down, as you know, put it in my DeLonghi pump-driven espresso machine, and when it comes out, it looks like this. I want to put sugar in it. It's that dark. My goodness, this is a dark whiskey.
I mean, we compared this to first fill, cask strength
whiskeys
that were 20 plus years old. And I mean, it may have been the darkest whiskey we looked at.
Oh, and I mean, on top of that, they were cask strength. I mean, we even went to the Glendronachs, 21, 18, the ones that are 20 through 24 years old we have. I mean, that you can't be, the camera does not do that justice. That is just mahogany.
Yeah, I mean, I held this up to the light, like I literally had it like, light bulb. I could see like halfway through it, I couldn't actually see the other side. I could see a light bulb. That was it.
So it's dark as well. Yeah. Super dark. All right, Dustin. 46% ABV, like most of them. We went over cask maturation.
Yep.
You're more familiar with I am, but I'm becoming extremely familiar with these 21-year-old releases. Normally, my favorite Springbank is 25, as you know.
Yeah.
But this one, the smell, fantastic. What are you picking up?
So right off the bat, I'm getting Dunnage Warehouse. I mean, so we've talked about this. The 25s are the most elegant, but they sometimes use what I would call tired casks. Here, and the 21s generally are still fairly elegant. You don't get as much Springbank funk. I tell you what, this is different. I am getting Dunnage Warehouse. I'm getting funk. I'm getting salt. I'm getting peat. I'm not quite getting a Springbank funk, but I'm getting funky cask maturation.
Now, this is a less Springbank funky 21 compared to some of the other 21s. But I tell you what, man, when you say dark and Dunnage Warehouse, it's almost like this one committed a crime and then attacked the other inmates and they put them in the hole. I don't know if this saw the light of day until they bottled it and sent it on its way. Yeah. It's like they dug a hole and buried it in dirt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting hints of vanilla. I'm getting like a dirty, whatever the rum cask was. I mean, I get like a dirty rum where it's just like, it's like the sugars hadn't even broken down yet. I get some dark fruits, but I can't even tell what they are. And it's like I'm in a freaking dirt floored warehouse and I'm just smelling 100-year-old oak.
But it is so sweet on the nose. I can pick up those rum casks now, but they are see, sometimes rum casks to me aren't that much different than a bourbon cask.
No, same.
But these rum casks, man, you can tell there's a rich, dense vanilla that it's just not something you get in whiskeys very often. And let's
it's like sugar cane, but it's like a dirty sugar. It's like brown sugar.
It's like Caribbean rum, like straight from the source. You ever been to Jamaica?
I have not.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, rum there is there's a sweetness to it when they age in a little bit of cask over there. Man, and it's that type of sweetness from it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like rock candy and vanilla on the finish. But then up front, you do have a little of that port. The port's really where that Dunnage Warehouse is coming from. But then there's like a berry, and it's subtle, but that's got to be the sherry. I mean, normally when you throw 4 casks together, I can't really. One cask dominates, and the other cask just, to me, adds oak.
I mean, this is like a battle royale where you have 3 all-time greats. Imagine a boxing match where you had Ali, Foreman, Frazier, and just spice it up, Mike Tyson. You don't know what's going to happen. You know someone's going to get knocked out.
Yeah, I might even be getting like a grape, like Welch's grape juice even.
I wouldn't go that far because the berry note, I'm there with you with the berry note. And I thought, it's a dark berry. Is it blackberry? Is it blueberry? And I thought, no, it's not. It's not quite a blueberry, but I think it's blackberry. I
could get blackberry. I can get behind that. I'm getting like a dirty, like it's almost starting to ferment kind of a Welch's grape juice.
Actually, I used to grow blackberries out in the backyard.
Yeah, okay.
I used to have a couple of blackberry bushes. And the ones, sometimes the one at the top of the bush, like I had to put these little sticks in the ground so the vine to kind of grow up to them. And sometimes the one that were in the sun, they kind of dried out a little bit. But if it was on the east side of my house, where, you know, the way the sun's more in the southern sky, it comes around, and a lot of the sun got on the west side of it. But if it was on the east side, and the ones that were close to the ground, that is the blackberry note I'm getting here.
You know what I just kind of started thinking about, and I've had a couple of glasses of red wine the last month or so, which I rarely ever drink red wine. But one of the notes you get on red wine oftentimes are going to be like a currant. And you know what? I'm actually kind of getting an earthy currant note here, which again, I wouldn't have picked up, except I just kind of recently picked that note up. But then it's overwhelmed by the sweetness on the sugars.
So sweet.
And then there's just enough salt in here. And
yeah, I tell you what, man, of all the 21s that we've been able to review, even the ones we haven't even brought to video yet, I don't know if one has been this sweet and this low on the Springbank funky level as this one right here.
You know, I tell you, I think the 2019 was more elegant.
Maybe more elegant.
Yeah.
But this is more sugary. And the Springbank funk is down in this one.
I remember the 19, and I have to go back to it. I remember zero Springbank funk on that one.
Buddy, this is east side of Mike Winston's blackberry bush, close to the ground. The bottom third or 40% of my blackberry bush right there, with sugar, with sugar in the raw, all over it. What are you picking up on the palate?
All right. First off, it is salty, and the Springbank has a little peat in there. It's coming out here. So as sweet, and Mike's talking about not getting much Springbank on here. I'm not getting the funk, but I am getting Springbank. Heavy, dirty Springbank on this one that you don't expect from the nose. And then it's got that dunnage warehouse, and you're getting just sweetness. There's molasses. There's fruits, and I'll tell you what, Mike, I am still gonna have to go back here and try to figure out these fruits at work because God, they're everywhere. And I've had this 3 or 4 pours. I haven't had a lot of this bottle because we were trying to get it to you guys early, but man, what are you getting?
Maple syrup, corn syrup. Just syrupy sweetness. The viscosity of it is so thick, especially for 46% ABV.
Yeah.
Almost you wouldn't think it could. If I was tasting this blind, I'd say 50% plus, just based on the viscosity and the mouthfeel.
Yep.
Fruit, dark berries. I get that dunnage taste in my mouth. Where it's been just aged in the dark and casks that were just, really performing well. Springbank funk, again, is super light for me on this one.
So you're not getting like the salts and the peat? It hits me like it just tingles. My mouth goes, ooh, that's savory, salty,
You said salt. I don't get a ton of salt in this, not comparatively. Sure, it has a little bit of the coastal element to me, but for me, it's not overly
So what do you
salty.
get? Are you getting that bite when you first go in? Because I get a bite of just like, whoa, like this has got some...
This is one where the cask to me tastes it's so influenced, so heavy influence in both the rum and the bourbon cask that I don't get really a ton of that, man. I really don't.
Maybe it's just an oak spice then?
To me, it's very, very sugary. It's the sweetness is extremely high, and the funk is just, middle of the road at best.
It's definitely not funk. But it's got that Campbelltown salt and peat. Very light peat. With a
little bit of water, I'm getting some wood smoke.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say
the smoke is low.
Water has changed my view on this one a little bit here, Mike. Because initially I was telling you it was salty. I think it was oak that was making me think salt. Because
salt wasn't there for me.
This got way sweeter with the water. It brought all of that molasses and like maple syrup and I don't know if I got cornstarch or was it corn sugars or something?
Corn sugars, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going there, but man, oak is definitely.
Yeah, see, I didn't really get any salt on it whatsoever, and the water just made it even sweeter. But that sweetness is just so prominent to me.
Yeah, I'm still getting and then Campbelltown's like a peninsula. It kind of gets some of the island salt notes in general. I'm still getting a hint here, Mike. And I'm actually starting to pick it up on the nose a little bit with the water. At the very end. That's not up front. It's that finish. I get a little bit of sea salt.
Little wisp of smoke, but I think it's more wood smoke than actual smoke from the peated barley. It is just, for me, a delicious treat. And the quality of this one, to me, top notch.
All right, Mike.
91 out of 100.
All right, that's what we're going. So I'm right there with you. I was actually going back and forth in my head on 91, 92, and I think 91's where this one lands. I'll give you guys one more thing that I've told Mike this multiple times.
Give it to me.
When it comes to the 21 and the 25, they are price prohibitive whiskeys.
Yes.
If it has port in it, I'm buying.
You've always said that, yes.
And this has port, I couldn't buy it fast enough.
This is the best one. This is the best one you brought. This is my favorite Springbank 21.
There you have it.
91 out of 100 for both of us, but mine's a higher 91. Mine's like a 6'1" 91. His is like a 5'11" 91. There's a reason it's called 6 foot tall. You never heard anyone say I'm 5'10" tall. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. Until next time.
Happy drinking.
See you in the comment section.